Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tony, and if you follow me, you know I just love building these huge scale RC models. And this particular one is the Series 1 from Armortek, which I'm back on now that I've finished my Baja. And the Baja, as you can see behind me, proudly displayed up on my wall. I've had a bit of a sort out. I've also got a shelf next to it, and that shelf is going to be for the Series 1. I love this kit. I love this kit. The reason why I love it is not the functionality, because you know, when you compare it to a tank, it's nowhere near as functional as a tank. It's the look and the style of it, and in particular what I really love about this kit, you can make it your own. I know you can with most of these kits, but you can make it your own. You can go down the road of civilian or military, or you know, like a sort of a zoo almost, or you know, wildlife. However you want to do this, you can do it, because the Land Rover Series 1 was used across the board, and it's reflected in this model. So if you are building one of these, or you're tempted to go and get one of these, you know, you're buying it because you love building these kits, but you're also buying it because it gives you the flexibility to personalize this more than any other kit I think that I've seen from Armortek. And yeah, I'm loving every minute of it. Now, as far as detailing is concerned, we're now on the final stages. I know it runs, we've seen that in my video, it's been test driven, everything functions as it should, and now it's all about getting the look right, so finishing it all off. So obviously today is going to be about getting the canopy on, which is here in this bag. I haven't taken it out of the bag since I've got the delivery, and we've got a couple of support rods. Now I know a couple of you on my channel have said that you've had some difficulties with this canopy. I don't know how what I'm going to encompass, but we'll soon find out. And so I want to get the canopy done today, and then I'm going to start thinking about all the other detailing, and that is, you know, everything from the wing mirrors to the windscreen wipers, and there's lots of other Armortek sort of add-ons that you get with the kit that need to be addressed and put on here. Of course, the number plates need to be fixed, and I've got an aerial I want to install, and I'll explain more about that when I get to that stage. So yeah, today is all about starting or finishing off the detailing and getting this amazing kit looking even sexier than it already does, in my opinion. Anyway, as normal, I'll reposition the camera and we'll get started. Right, okay, time to get on to this. I've opened the bag up already. Let's just make sure there's nothing else in there. There isn't. Couple of extra bits. That looks like it could be for the door handle, sort of like there, sort of thing. I'm going to put those to one side for a moment. Just open this up. It's beautifully made. It's beautifully made. Right, let's have a look what we got. So I can see a couple of bits of Velcro here and here. Any other bits of Velcro? So this is obviously the front, and that's the back with the little window panel in it, and I guess this is what we use to tie it up. Oh, I see, look at that. So if we were to roll that up, which I think I'm tempted to do, there's a little strap that then goes through and ties all that into place. So that's what that does. And I guess you can roll the sides up as well, because then you've got these ties here. So I might do that on one side, and then we've obviously got all this to tie it up and possibly put a bit of tension on it. This goes around the front. Is that elasticated? No. Right, and then we've got these pieces of material here, which I assume these rods pass through. So this is the front. Let's just see if that is the case. Definitely. I would suggest that yes, it is, and then you just pull that through like that. Now this being the front, I want to just test fit this onto, okay, I think the holes are fine. Just where these have been guillotined or chopped, they just need to be cleaned up on my bench sander. So I'm going to do that with both of these, and then I'll be straight back. Right, so that's both of them cleaned up. Going to now hopefully slide this one through, which is the back one. I'm just going to do a bit of a test fit on this first, because I won't fit the canopy until I'm ready for all the accessories and done all that. But So let's just see how we get on. What's the best way to do this? So let's do the back one first, I think. So now I've cleaned these up. Oh yeah, there we go. Now there's a little clip. I'm going to see if I can show you that. When I say a clip, there's a little slot that these go into, which probably, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's over tucked into this little corner here. Didn't know what they were at the time of building this, but now I do. That's obviously to retain that, and you will not glue these in because you want this to be removable. So that's that. Now hopefully the front one goes in just as easy. Let's stop that, and I'm gonna take that out because I've absolutely cocked that up. This way round is the way to do it, and I'm now going to do the front one. That could end up in the outtakes. Let's have a look. You want this to be vertical, don't follow the angle, although it's, there we go. Let's just make sure that they're both down, and they are. That goes in there. Definitely cleaning the ends of these rods up has helped. Well, that's it. It just looks terrible, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm only joking. We need to dress it and we need to tidy it up and everything else. But oh, what's that? Okay, another bit. Not sure what that is. We'll work it out in a minute. So that's the essence of it. I'm guessing these doors. Oh, I should have not shut that. There we go. These doors will shut onto. So this goes around the top of that. That bit of Velcro, I don't know if you can see, that bit of Velcro must go around there, and it does. So let's, this is all a little bit Heath Robinson for the now, but that goes on there. That obviously goes around that. That door should shut on. Oh, that's it. It is in. That door shuts on that. We come round to the back. I guess these will go in there like that, and we just Velcro. Just going to Velcro the other side. That's kind of the back of it. Now I want this to be rolled up. So I'm going to roll this up. Sorry, that's my phone. How does that go? Does that just pass through that? In essence. Right, so let me just turn this round for you. I will be taking this off in a minute. Just want to see what it looks like, roughly speaking. That rolls that up like that. That must go around this, and I think, do you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to lash this, or lace it even. How about we do that? Round the metal bar. Sorry, apologies, my phone is dinging away. Just using that metal bar just to Again, listen, I'm only doing this really roughly at the moment. Tell you what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to. An old trick of this is just to. You can't melt it, but I'm going to glue the ends of that so that we'll get a nice tidy. I'm going to super glue the ends of these ropes here, these little string, stop them from fraying. So anyway, that's the essence of it. Anyway, so I've done a bit of tidying up on this, and I'm going to go for the open side as well as the open back, because I've got some stuff I want to show off in the inside of this area here. So yeah, that's it, I think. You know, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say to that. I'm not sure how much improvement I can give that either. I quite like the open side of it though. I think that's going to look quite smart, especially when I've got accessories and everything else in here. I think that's it really, as far as that goes. Now I'm going to take this canopy off. I should be able to just remove the whole thing. If I just take that off from the front, peel that back. So I want to be able to work on this. It's not attached to anything, is it? No. Just stiff. That's it. And I'll take that off, put it to one side, and then we can start talking about getting some more detail done on that. Right, so now we're going to go on and work on the Armortek components, which is, you get this with the kit, a little bag of beautifully cast aluminium pieces. So we have the wing mirrors, we have the bonnet catches, and we have a little wiper blade. So the first thing we need to do is glue these together, and then obviously get them painted. But there's no instructions on how to assemble these, so I'm going to talk you through how we do it, I hope. First things first, I'm just going to empty all these components out of the little bag. I'm going to separate them out into what I believe, so that's obviously the wing mirror. There's two wing mirrors. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I think that might be the wiper blade. I think that's also to do with the wiper blade. Looking at the picture, let me just move this into shot for you, sorry. Difficult to see on the camera, but I can work out there's some components here. So we're going to have two of these. Looks like two of these. Yeah, and two brackets, and these will be the arms for the wing mirrors. So that's all to do with the wing mirrors. That is to do with the wiper blades, and these obviously must be to do with the bonnet catch. So we'll pop those over there for now. So these, typically these parts, because they're cast, if you can see that, they're beautifully cast by Armortek, but they need a little bit of work. That just needs a little bit of filing, just to smooth off some of the rough parts of that. And I can see on the back of this, I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera, but there's a little indentation there, and I'm looking at the picture, and I would say that that needs to be drilled out to allow this rod to pass through. So it passes through that. Now obviously you've got to be very careful with this stuff, because this is just cast aluminium and it will break very quickly and very easily. So we just have to be a little bit careful about how we treat these pieces. So that will be the first thing that I would do. And also I can see on this bracket, which again from the photograph here, sorry, obviously that goes onto the side of the Land Rover, which is, yeah, so and there should be a couple of holes, and I can see, I don't know if you can make that out in there, but there's a hole clearly here, and there's an indentation where a hole should be. So that's also going to have to be drilled out. And I guess that is to allow this arm, this very delicate arm, to position itself somewhere like that. So I'm going to clean that up, get a hole in that, and I'm going to drill these to get a hole in these, and I'm going to use my cordless drill with a 1.5mm drill bit, and I'm going to take this over to my vise so that I can get this done. So that's it, the wing mirror clamped into the vise with the jaw protectors. Now I'm just going to use my 1.5mm drill on a very slow just sorry, I'm concentrating. There we go. That's a little hole drilled. Let me see if I can show you that. That's a little hole drilled through that now. Do the same to the other one, and then we can go and glue the arm in. Okay, so we're going to do these wing mirrors. Now bear in mind there's obviously a left hand and a right hand mirror. I know it sounds like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but it's one of those sort of things that if you're not careful you can overlook. So let's do the right hand one first. So this is the right orientation, so that needs to, they need to go into that there, and this bit here wraps around the front of the windscreen. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm just going to pop that on this bit of wood here, make sure I've got the right orientation. I do. I'm just going to drop a bit of super glue in there, and then I'm just going to position that in there like so. And that's about right. I'll let that go off, and we do the same on this side for the left hand. Want to make sure that that is flush. If it isn't, you can always file this down afterwards. So we'll leave those. So that's the left hand one. We'll leave that where I've marked it, left and right. Now we've got the wing mirrors itself, and we have the main arm of the wing mirror, and that just, now that we've drilled the hole, that just slides into position nice and easy. I'm tempted not to glue that, but you know, I want it to, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I will glue it. I just thought it'd be nice to have some articulation on it. But I'm actually thinking about that, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, because I just think that for storing this, you want to be an ability to be able to take these wing mirrors off, or certainly move them. So let's just go ahead and glue that. I think what I'm going to do is position that arm in there first. The hole should be on the top. Sorry, where you've drilled the hole should be the top. So if this is the right wing mirror, actually that's going to be the left one, isn't it? That will be the left one. Thinking about it. So we put that there. And let's do the right one. So that's going to be, that needs to be positioned like that. So when that goes onto its arm, that'll be correct. And what we want is that to be in line. So now I'm just going to put a bit of glue into that hole, slide that into position. Let that go off. Do the same with this one. So pop that out. Pop some glue down the hole. Push that into position. Just take that excess glue off. Smooth that around. And we let that go off. So that's that side there. Just need to wait for the glue to go off and then we can assemble the rest of the wing mirrors. Right, so now the glue's gone off on this particular part. You want this, you want this to be completely flush because this is what glues onto the windscreen. So with a very small file and with a little bit of ease and be very gentle, just file off anything that's protruding. These parts are so lovely, but they are quite vulnerable. Because they are cast and they are aluminium, they're quite soft, or I say it's aluminium, it's a soft metal alloy, and you have to handle them with a little bit of care. So be very gentle when you're doing this. You want that to have a good bond to the side of the windscreen, and if these parts from this part here are protruding, you're not going to get a complete flat surface. So that's that one, and we move on to this one. Same thing, that's just slightly protruding there. Because it's a very soft metal, it does file down very nicely. I will paint these in the sort of galvanized finish once I've got them assembled, and then I've got to try and make the mirrors look like a mirror. I've got some chrome paint which I bought and used on the steering wheel to some really good effect, I think. And I'm hoping, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm hoping I can use that chrome paint to give a reflective surface for the mirrors. That all remains to be seen. That's nice. That's nice now. That's all clean, ready to go. Right, let's just talk about this part here. So this bit here is on the right hand side of the vehicle. Let me move this into camera shot. It's on the right hand side of the vehicle. This part here slots in and glues into position down the end of that. It's a bit tight, but it will go. I won't force it in just yet. And then, that's not exactly as it should be. We'll worry about that in a minute. And then the idea is that this mirror goes in that slot, and that goes on to the Land Rover on the right hand side. But what I'm thinking is that if I'm going to be storing this, this is quite a vulnerable piece. It's very, very thin bar here. I'm thinking I'm going to use a bit of blue tack, or in fact grey tack, just to pop into that, so I've got something that just can get that secured, and if I do need to take them out or bend them round to give me a bit of, you know, to avoid them getting damaged for storage, that will allow me to do that rather than gluing it. So that's my thinking. So before we do anything else, I'm going to get some blue or grey tack. Let's move all the left hand pieces over to the left hand. Move that very useful piece of wood out of the way and get my little bit of grey tack. I'm going to roll that out. And now I'm going to feed the grey tack into that hole and just use a sort of a sharp tool just to prod that into place. Just pop that down around the bottom. I've used this before for securing aerials and things on my tank, because you want to be able to remove them when you're getting them in the back of your car and things like that, because they are sort of quite vulnerable to damage. I think that's it. I'll just break that piece off. So now that's got blue tack wedged in this little hole. So let's just try this out. If I then position this, be very careful, you don't want to bend it. Just push that into position. Bring that round to where it should be. That now gives me a wing mirror supported by the blue tack, or grey tack in this case. Just trim that bit off the bottom, that's where it's been pushed out. And if needs be, I can bend that and I can remove it if necessary. So I'll pop that back out of there for now. Just tidy up that bit of blue tack, grey tack, sorry. Same product, just different colour. Just pop all that in there. Take off the excess. Perfect. Now, this will, well, it should do, should slide down into position on here. And then we just glue it into place, like so. So I'm going to get my glue. What have I done with my glue? Oh, it's there. Just put a dab of glue on there. Careful not to get it on your fingers, of course. And I want that to slide into position, like so. Just making sure that is square onto where I want it to be, and it is. So that's that little assembly like that. Just got to tidy that bit of blue tack up on the bottom of that. So that is pretty much as far as I'm going to go with that, because I want to paint these, and then once these are painted, then put them on. So that's that one. So we just got to do the same now for this side. So a little bit of grey tack. I just think that if you glue these, and yeah, I just think that might be a mistake. So I'm not saying don't do it, or I'm not saying this is better than glue, but it's just, in my eyes, I think this is potentially such a vulnerable part of the Series 1 Land Rover. You don't want to bend. You don't want to be bending the these very soft metal parts. And if you've got a way of a means to be able to take them out when you transport or store, even better. So, and when the blue tack, it's grey tack. When the grey tack goes off, it does harden up a little bit. So it will do its job. And if you find that it's not, it's not doing it, then glue it. But for now, that's the way I want to approach it. So this one here is going to be on the other side of the vehicle. Hang on, which way is it? Yeah. Getting confused. Yeah, on the other side of the vehicle. I'll put this in the same way as I did before, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paint, and we'll get on and paint these, and then see if I can get the chrome finish on here to make it look like a mirror. Actually, before I do any more painting, or any painting at all, these need to be glued together, which are the little dummy bonnet catches. Just taking the rougher parts of the casting off. Make sure that we do that on both of them. Of course, these serve no purpose whatsoever in holding the bonnet down. They're literally just decorative pieces, and I think they literally just glue with the. It's difficult to show you on the camera, but there's a little hook that this sits on, like so. I mean, it's as fiddly as anything, especially with when you've got big old sausage fingers. So I think I'm going to have to go and get some tweezers. Better still, some forceps. So let's load this up. I want to be hanging it off of that, so I think that's about right, is it? Let me have a look. Yeah. Perfect. So tiny, just a tiniest amount of glue. And pop that into position. Hold it there for a few seconds. Do the same with this one. The other way around. Sorry, bear with me guys, just while I'm wrong way around. Ah, right, okay. That's the way. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold it. Just going to hold it like that. Get the right one. Just hold it in position for a bit. And that should be fine. So that's those two glued. We now have our window wiper, and I know this is out of camera, but I'm just double checking positioning this on to the Land Rover, so bear with me while I get the right angle for this. This is just a glue job. Yeah, so it's a bit of the angle's like that. So there's a little indentation in here which tells us where we should pop the arm. And a little bit awkward, but anyway, there we go. And then just going to hold that in place, square that off. Pop that down there. Try not to stick my finger to it. So I need to put that angle a bit more. That'll be about right, I think, like that. Let the glue go off, and then we're ready for painting. So I have an acrylic paint here, which is a silver or galvanized finish. First thing we do is going to turn these over and just give them a. I'm not going to undercoat these because you're going metal, over white metal, so Just giving it a bit of a wash of a on the back. When that dries, we can go back over that. Temptation is to sort of leave them as they are, but I don't know. It'll look slightly different to the rest of the galvanised finishes that we've got on the model. And when that's dry, we can flip them over, give a coat of paint around the bezel. I don't want to paint the inside of those. The arms. These are going to be stuck on to the windscreen, so you don't need to paint the inside, just this and the arm itself. Again, we just leave that to dry. This is the sort of the therapeutic part of the build. I always enjoy this part very much. So let that dry. Paint these. These are going to be a little bit awkward, but again, what we'll do is we'll do the top part first, let the paint dry, and come back and hold it the other end so we can get that to, we can get the paint the bottom part of it. Again, the temptation is to leave it in its raw metal, but I think it will look better with this, just a little brush coat of this galvanized finish on it. Then we have this. I might put a line of black on that afterwards. I might just use my Sharpie pencil, or pen, sorry, to do that, so that you can see the sort of black rubberized fin, which would be normal, I guess. So that's pretty much that done. Just wait for that paint to dry and then we'll flip these over and do the other side. Right, so that's all the acrylic paint dry. We're going on to the chroming now. So this is this really expensive chrome paint, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some in the middle of that and use the brush to just push it round into the edge ever so gently. Just hold on to that. Now this will find its own level, this paint. It's an oil-based paint, so it's going to take a while to dry. Just pushing it round into the edges. Sorry, I'm not talking because I'm trying to concentrate. And almost there. Love the smell of this paint, it's gorgeous. So I don't know if you can see that. That sort of reflective finish. That's the one I did earlier. You can see the paint starting to flatten out. So that will get better. Just going to put a bit more on there, allow that to find its own level. Beautiful paint. Right, so So that's that. Put the lid back on that. That's almost as expensive as gold, this stuff. Beautiful. And if you're wondering what make it is, it's this product here. Oh, there we go. Gilt chrome. Widely available on the old internet. Obviously this brush has got oil-based paint on it now, so that needs to be cleaned off with white spirits. So we'll go and do that. And what we do next thing, while we're waiting for that to dry, we might as well give these little petrol cans a coat of primer and then take it from there. Right, so all the parts that I wanted to get painted are now painted. Got my two little fuel cans. I've gone for a red, which would be typical of that era. You obviously previously done the number plates. Got the two wing mirrors. I don't know if you can see the gloss or the reflection in that, which is really smart. All the small components that we did earlier, and of course the little name badges that I got from Charles off the Armortek forum. Amazing job he's done on those little 3D prints. And I've got the aerial, which will go on to the Series 1 when I am ready. I'm not going to install these today because the paint is still curing, and I don't want to risk it. So the next session, we'll put all of this on to the Series 1 and we'll bring it to a conclusion. So that's it for today's session. Disappointed a little bit because I didn't get as far as I wanted to today, but the painting took a little bit longer to finish and to dry, because it's not, you know, we're right in the middle of a bleak winter, and it's, although I've got some heating in my workshop, it's not warm enough really to dry the paint as fast as I wanted to. But I'm really pleased with all the parts that we've now got ready to go on to the Series 1, including these, and really pleased with the way these sort of, I don't know if you can pick that sort of reflection of that light up in the little wing mirrors, and of course the little badges there that I've got off for Charles off the Armortek forum. Amazing. And I'm looking forward now to getting them onto the Land Rover. So I guess that next session will be the very last session for this build, where we'll finally put the canopy on in its final setup, if you like. We'll put all of these parts onto the Series 1, and we'll also put the decals on, and then it really will be the end of a journey which I've really thoroughly enjoyed. But I'll save that for the next session. I just want to say massive thank you to all of you who continue to support my channel. If you're new, you know what to do. Please subscribe, because I'm not done yet. I've still got a bit more work to do, one more session on this. I've got some work to do on my M26 Persian tank. I've got an interesting video also coming up, and I'll reveal more in next week's session. And then eventually I will unveil my next project, or let you know what my next project is. So please continue to subscribe, please continue to follow, and please continue to support. I really appreciate everything, all the comments I get and all the support I get. So massive thank you from me. So I'll sign off finally by saying I'm Tony, love building these models, and I look forward to seeing you in my next session.